superb kick. Wales 12, England 3, Steve Fenwick 140 points. Gareth Williams, John Scott driving. Steve Smith, Smith through, and Rafter at his side. Cook is there as well. Well, that was much more like the kind of thing England have been managing in practice. They just put together a neat little bit of work there. John Scott making the initial thrust, and then Smith dummying and fighting his way up. Rafter and the other flanker Cook in support. Oh, and the England scrummage is in awful trouble. A great Welsh heave that was. Out to Smith. JPR going back, it's a nasty one. Caught this time by Mike Sleman, who has felt the power of that Williams frame in this match. Throwing, they're 10 metres from the Welsh line. Hoisting high. Cook goes down. Laid back there from Bowman. Smith to Horton. Horton checking with a drop goal. The dummy and the switch. Neat little kick ahead. Brynmo Williams up. That's the Welsh goal line, and it's a penalty. Not releasing the ball. Peter Wheeler, I think, complaining that England wanted the ball a lot quicker than that, perhaps just to have a quick tap penalty and a drive for the line. But in fact, Bill Bowman has asked. Bowman fed it back beautifully there from that maul. John Horton, you'll notice, was going to drop the goal. Gareth Davis was too close. Horton chipped ahead. Brynmo Williams was up, and then he had to release the ball when he hit the ground. So here with a chance to cut the deficit. Again trying to keep it low, it's a good one. Mike Sleman gives them a little clap, and Dusty Hare's second penalty goal cuts the deficit to 12 points to 6. And so England stretching to try and get on level terms before half-time. That's the Welsh 22. Throws up, goes Wheel. Brynmo Williams running into John Scott. Losing control, and England with the put-in. English scrummage held better there. John Scott, in goes Cook to help the drive. That's the New Zealand tactic. Now it's Bowman burrowing in there like a giant mole. Back it comes to Smith, to Horton, along the line to Woodward. This is Dodge. Dodge going for the line. Dodge outside. What a brilliant try for Dusty Hare, the fullback. It was Billy Bowman who really won the ball back. Smith to Horton. Then it was Woodward who missed out one of his lads, but Dodge saw the gap, and Hare's running as a wing three-quarter from fullback was absolutely spot on. John Horton restarts. Up there goes Colclough. John Scott had it, now it's Colclough driving. Runs into Gareth Williams. Rodri Lewis and Jeff Squire standing off, patrolling the fringes. Squire realised that he could maybe get the ball. Cook kicks on, the pick-up by Fenwick. Fenwick half checked by Bowman. Nicely laid back from Squire. Brynmo Williams, Gareth Davis. Davis to David Richard. Brilliant running by the Welsh centre. Outside to Clive Davis in front of the English posts. Now it's back to Brynmo Williams. Richard again, kicking for the corner. Across there goes Wheeler. John Horton is there. Well, that was a flash of vintage David Richards. That's why Wales switched him to the centre, just for that electrifying pace of his. The referee's whistle has gone for the end of the first half. Wales ahead by 12 points to 10. And so Billy Beaumont, the English captain, who must know that at one time England really were struggling in that first half, but must feel that England are in with a tremendous chance of perhaps winning their first game here since 1963. Certainly a great hubbub all round the ground here. The feeling of anticipation and tension you can cut with a knife as Gareth Davis starts or prepares to start the second half. So Gareth Davis going for the long one out of play. John Horton just letting it go past. And so the first dropout of the first half goes to England. The second half goes to England. That shows you what an exciting first half it's been. John Horton then, who recovered from a wee bit of a shaky start and has looked much more in command. That's not a good kick though, much too far. Brynmore Williams with a bit of room. Runs into John Scott, lays it back well. Jeff Squire has it. Welsh forwards doing a bit of percussion rolling round the side. Now it's Brynmore Williams to Steve Fenwick. Manufactured the kick well. Clive Woodward was the lad back there, but that was nicely improvised by Steve Fenwick. John Scott was out the tail, but Colclough has it. Bowman too. Peter Wheeler tries to clear up the edges. Back from Blakeway. Now it's Slemon. Robert Ackerman couldn't quite hold it. Mind you, it was a very flat ball and coming at him tremendously quickly. England side showing calmness under pressure. Just gone halfway, knocked down by wheel. Brynmore Williams, Gareth Davis. They told me that he hadn't been kicking well, but Gareth Davis always was a big match man. The England 22. Wheeler throws through, went Clive Davis, down goes Rodri Lewis. David Cook with him. Neatly laid back, Brynmore Williams. David Nicholas. Everybody down at Straddy would be getting a bit excited there as David Nicholas got the chance to show his paces. He hasn't had many in this match. Still just outside England's 22. Great shove by Wales, but Brynmore Williams has stolen it, but I think he picked it out of the scrimmage. It was worth a little try because the ball was very close to the edge. So they're back up to halfway. David Cook at the tail for England, just looking at the alignment of the Welsh backs to check the angle of his departure. Rodri Lewis goes down. Picked on there by Wheeler. Gareth Davis, David Richards. Steve Fenwick, referee waiting for advantage. It went to the wrong side. That's probably just a question of cold hands, you know, it's really very nasty out there, what with the gusty wind and the coldness, as the sun has gone. England just outside the Welsh 22. Welsh front row seems to be enjoying itself, but it's Smith. Smith feeding inside. Didn't go to hand. Penalty. Looked again. Might have been dangerous use of the foot. Ryan Anderson from Corstorphine with Edinburgh, having a very good match, showing his authority. Tremendous experience for him in his first international, major international as referee. And here's a The distance and the angle for Dusty Hare. Here then, yes, he didn't quite hit it right. He's been trying to keep them low into the wind, but my goodness, that was a very useful kick for England. They go ahead for the first time in the match, 13 points to 12. Gareth Williams, I think, going for the pickup. They're allowed to go 180 degrees. Rodri Lewis trying to take it over. Now it's fed back. Brynmo Williams, Gareth Davis, Keith Fenwick. Fenwick going for the gap. Tackled there by Dodge. Kept it off. The ball must have hit the ground. He must have been tackled in the sense that he was held and the ball hit the ground, in which case he has to release it immediately. Here, JPR. Could have been a bit further forward, but it's not bad. Nicely back from Gareth Williams. The switch there to Richard. Now back to the Welsh forwards. Brynmo Williams. Gareth Davis with a drop goal. Oh, it's a beauty. This is turning out to be. Watch how coolly he took this chance. He just had a little look, little adjustment, boom, and he knew it was there from the moment it left his foot. Welsh 10 metres line. England trying to screw the scrummage, but Gareth Williams did well. He saw that Brynmo Williams was marked, so he took it on himself. He knew the red blanket would be there. And it's produced again. Gareth Davis making Dusty Hare chase across field. Back goes Mike Slemon. Hare with a lot of room and time this time. That really was a simply marvellous kick by Gareth Davis. He was right in his own end goal area. He had very little angle, and yet he's put them up almost to halfway. What a lift to his forwards and his side. Obstruction there, putting the hand on the opponent's shoulder, penalty to England. We're going into the last quarter of the match, 20 minutes of the second half over, and Wales still ahead by 15 points to 13. Well, it's a long, long way, but he's going to have a go. This is how far. Booms, doesn't look too bad. Has it got the legs? Oh, just off the crossbar again. JPR Williams out there to Nicholas, who couldn't hold it. Driving on there, and it was Paul Dodge who almost got the touch. And so, William Henry Hare of Nottingham and Leicester, not too unhappy really in a sense. The 3 points would have been nice, but the line out is a reasonable reward. Found there, Bowman sweeping the line. Now Smith must go open out here to Horton. Horton a little kick through. Steve Fenwick out in the open. Hare has to race back. Robert Ackerman is going up. Oh, and it's just made it. Fenwick, the quick throw to Price. Back to Brynmo Williams. Hare misses the tackle, but Peter Wheeler doesn't. This is a boiling cauldron, this stadium, at this moment. Jeff Squire, number 7, as Wales try to roll